Okay, guys, do you see what's on the screen right now? Hello Neighbor 3, Devlog 1. I just woke up and I saw this. I clicked on it to make sure it was, like, real. And it seems like it's real, so let's go ahead and watch this and, see what's up. Okay, so that's Nikita, the creator of Hello Neighbor. Let's just, see what he has to say.
I'm on a lifelong journey to create a unique sandbox where every decision is the right one. This is the diary of another attempt.
Okay.
So the first try was the game Hello Neighbor. You might have
I
heard
get
of it.
that.
A game where you sneak into your neighbor's house, guarded by AI that learns from your actions.
Uh-huh.
That learns from your actions. Okay. uh, Even though the game did well, it was only a fraction. Fractions. It was only a fraction of what was originally envisioned. Being first game,
Okay.
it had its quirks. With each new iteration, I tried to figure out the approach. So there was late night shift, known as Hello Guest.
The timing of that. Okay, the timing of that branch break was was crazy. Bro's being hunted by the guest in real time.
The early alphas of Hello Neighbor 2 and the lesser known stuff like Rumble on the Mill and the Embassy. In the most recent attempt at the search of a sandbox, I asked myself, can it be a multiplayer game? With the help of a designer, we built something.
Well, I mean, you've been asking that since the very beginning, I feel like. I mean, the original Kickstarter page for Hello Neighbor, I think, had like a multiplayer mode planned. Didn't it? Like, I've been here since the Kickstarter days. I saw that original Kickstarter page that they had, and, I thought it looked like a cool game, so I started following it. I couldn't support it because I was broke as shit, but, like, I wanted to support it. But I'm positive, I remember seeing that they planned for the first game to have multiplayer. I feel like multiplayer has been, like, on Nikita's mind since the very beginning with Hello Neighbor.
With the help of a designer, we built something that was destined to become Hello Neighbor 3. An RBO prototype.
Ah,
A
okay.
game where you invade other players' houses, steal their stuff, and reinforce your own house to prevent them from doing the same.
Alright.
By the way, RBO stands for Ravenbrooks Online.
I saw this being advertised. I didn't know what it was. I was gonna play it, but I was too late, unfortunately. It looked cool. I really wanted to play it.
To take a next step and make it a full game, we reached out to great people at Irrigate Studios for help. Funny thing, there was a catch. None of us developed an online game before. We started to working on a game, codenamed RBO, building its world, mechanics, and figure out if it works at all. Along the way, we shifted from competitive to cooperative gameplay,
Okay.
where friends team up.
What is that? It's floating above his head. So it went from player versus player to co-op.
Up against AI instead of fighting each other.
Okay.
Idea was to eliminate toxicity that might happen while playing against random people. And focus on a journey.
Well, I mean, toxicity is just gonna happen regardless, though. I mean, even with a game like this, like, I feel like Secret Neighbor is a great example of that. Every time I've played that, nobody works together and they kind of just go their own way. Especially if it's like random players. Like, that just tends to happen. even if it's a game where you have to work together, there's always motherfuckers going their own way, like Phasmophobia, for example. I haven't had a single game of Phasmophobia where nobody even like talks to me. And it kind of makes it like not enjoyable, right? So like it would only work with friends, and I think that's just a problem with multiplayer games and a problem with people in general. So I think I know where this is going. It's going. Oh, it just wouldn't work. The multiplayer doesn't work.
rather than destination.
Also, by the way, these graphics are fucking insane looking. This looks great. Like, what the hell?
As we dove deeper into development, we started to realize that we might not be able to pull this off in a reasonable amount of time.
Just like every other Hello Neighbor game.
That's when I remembered an advice we had from a team of experienced online developers. They said,
Huh? Okay.
don't do it seriously. At the time,
Do
it
it
didn't sound like a
seriously?
great advice. But the question arises, what should we do? And most importantly, what can we do? There was one thing we could change. Make it a single player game.
Yeah, see. Knew it.
Okay, so here's the idea. You find yourself in a half-abandoned town.
Is he being chased by the guest right now? Okay, you find yourself in a half-abandoned town in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. Yep, ribbon roofs. Events unfold right before your eyes. If you decide to intervene, everything can be changed. Because every character is driven by parameters and systems.
Okay. I mean, that sounds all fun and good, but like,
In the next episode, I'll tell you more about our progress on Hell Neighbor 3, its world, atmosphere, and the next prototype stage we're currently working on. I hope we'll be able to make this elusive sandbox before...
that's not the guest. That's something new. That does not sound like the guest. Alright, and that's it. Okay, so... thoughts. Okay, let me gather my thoughts here. What do I think about this? It sounds cool, right? I mean, RBO was a cool prototype. I didn't get to play it, unfortunately, but it looked cool. I liked the idea of it. I always wanted, like, a proper Hello Neighbor multiplayer game. I mean, Secret Neighbor was a Hello Neighbor multiplayer game. It just wasn't the Hello Neighbor multiplayer that I wanted, personally. I wanted a Hello Neighbor multiplayer where one player is the neighbor, the other is the intruder or whatever. And then, you know, you set traps in the house and you try to keep people out from doing it, right? Secret Neighbor was more like Dead by Daylight, which I don't really tend to like games like that, so it didn't really gel with me all that well. Hence why I haven't made any videos on that game besides one. But they're not going with the multiplayer thing. They're going with single player again and making it just another normal Hello Neighbor game. And it sounds like they're going back to the whole open world thing again. Now, okay. That's what Hello Neighbor 2 was supposed to be, right? You've had 2 chances to get this down, right? And I understand development is difficult. I'm not saying this is easy whatsoever. Trust me, I've tried to make my own Hello Neighbor game, you know, Hello William. Like, it stressed me out. So I had to cancel it. I just couldn't handle it, right? So I understand making games is difficult, especially Hello Neighbor. Hello Neighbor is a very difficult game to make because it has a lot of different variables on what the player can do in the game and how the AI reacts to the player doing said things. Hello Neighbor 1, the big issue with the first game was that it was too... it allowed the player to do too much with the items and stuff like that. Like, it allowed the player to stack up boxes to get onto the roof and to, solve puzzles in a giant house. All this stuff didn't mix well with the AI because the AI couldn't keep up with it. The AI can't jump on those boxes because, well, those are physics-based objects. They don't have, like, a navigation mesh that the neighbor can, interact with. So, unfortunately, the neighbor couldn't really stack boxes himself and jump on them to get up to where the player is. Of course, they tried to fix that by giving him a vacuum cleaner, but, that wasn't really a good solution, I'm not gonna lie. And not to mention, the house was way too big, so the AI couldn't really patrol it properly. It could not get to the places where the player was, and it rarely even made it to the higher areas of the house. So the end result of the first game was it was basically a giant mess with an AI that couldn't handle everything else in the game. The problem with Hello Neighbor 2 was, once again, the AI just couldn't handle what the player was doing. The player did not match what the AI was, right? The player could climb up onto things, and that in itself made it so where the AI couldn't do shit to the player. And not to mention, the AI in that game was infinitely more simple compared to the first game. At least in the first game, the AI was able to chase the player properly and, jump and actually get to the player to catch them. However, Hello Neighbor 2, the AI couldn't jump. He could barely keep up with the player. All the AI can do when the player is on top of an object is to gesture them to get down, and that's it. Right? And unfortunately, that made Hello Neighbor 2 very underwhelming. And I really want to be excited for this because, this game does look great. I mean, look at this shot right here. It's low resolution for the footage, but, this looks really cool, right? And the multiplayer thing seems really fun. You can still add multiplayer into the game. I feel like multiplayer could be really fun for this game. And hell, there's a multiplayer mod for Hello Neighbor 2 that kind of proves that to me. Exploring Ravenbrooks with other people and, finding creepy neighbors to, sneak around and, fight against. That sounds like it'd be an awesome game. It sounds like it'd be really fun, especially if there's, a bunch of different, tools and mechanics that you can use against the AI. But, you're presenting an idea. You're presenting something cool, right? I do like the idea, but the problem is your track record so far hasn't really been good. Hello Neighbor 1 didn't end up how you said it would. Hello Neighbor 2 especially didn't end up how you said it would. Hello Neighbor 2 is still missing major portions of the game that should be there. And now you're going to Hello Neighbor 3, and we're just supposed to be happy and expect it to be good. And I don't want to sound like I'm hating on it because, I love how this looks, right? But, you're gonna have to make the AI something special. It can't just be it moves around, goes to a task, does an animation, finishes, and then goes to a different task and does an animation. It actually has to interact with the things in the house. It has to actually, feel like it's alive and doing stuff, right? And also, the puzzles, y'all need to stop focusing so much on the puzzles, bro. Like, come on now. The puzzles in Hello Neighbor 2, they were very simple. They weren't really anything too interesting. The puzzles in the first game were a nightmare. I did not like the puzzles in the first game whatsoever. Make it, like, okay, here's a good direction. Look at the pre-alpha, okay? The pre-alpha is widely considered like one of the best versions of Hello Neighbor, period. Focus on what that version of the game does, and focus on what Alpha 1.5 of Hello Neighbor 1 did. Look at that old footage and kind of just, open up the house a little bit more. You can still have keys, you can still have locks and locked rooms. Just don't have outrageous, crazy puzzles that get in the way of interacting with the AI and what the AI does. I really hope that this game is going to succeed at what it's trying to do. I really hope it will. Because I like Hello Neighbor. I've liked Hello Neighbor since the Kickstarter. I thought it was a great concept and idea for a game. Like, when I go back to that Kickstarter, and I'm reading about the concept of Hello Neighbor, I don't think it ever truly reached that potential. And hell, I think that's what Nikita even says.
Even though the game did well, it was only a fractions. It was only a fraction of what was originally envisioned.
Yeah, see? Even the creator of Hello Neighbor agrees. Like, it was only a fraction of what was originally envisioned. Anyway, I think I'm done talking about this. I don't want to piss people like Hello Neighbor fanatics off or anything like that, because I know I've said some things that might be hurtful. I don't mean for it to be hurtful. I'm just saying, I'm just voicing my opinion. I'm just voicing my thoughts on Hello Neighbor because I care about this franchise. I care about the Hello Neighbor world and everything like that. I just want Hello Neighbor to be good. That's all I want. And, you guys know I'm a Hello Neighbor fan. I mean, I wouldn't have played every single game, minus Hello Engineer, on the channel if I wasn't a Hello Neighbor fan. I wouldn't have tried to make a fan game. And hell, I'm still trying to make a fan game. I'm still trying to get Hello William going again. And yes, I know. For all those asking about Hello William, I'm still trying to do it, okay? I just need to find a developer, that's all. I just need to find a coder, and we'll make something awesome for you guys, okay? So, Nikita, I really hope what you said in this devlog is 100% true. I hope you can achieve it. I hope you'll fulfill what your vision for this game is. I wish you the best of luck. I feel like you can do it if you're given enough time. If TinyBuild just lets you do your thing, let you cook, I feel like you can make a great game. Because that's the thing. Hello Neighbor has remnants of, greatness. Throughout every single game, there's always that little spark of something that I feel like it could be great, I mean, just go back and play some of the original alphas for Hello Neighbor 1, and you'll see what I mean. And also, not to mention, no matter how much you dislike the first game, it's still fun. Like, once you understand the puzzles and everything, it's still fun to run around the AI and fight against it, right? So, it just needs to be developed in such a way where the game works with the AI. Where the player isn't about, stacking up boxes and climbing onto the roof or anything like that, but more about like sneaking around the AI and the AI doing stuff, right? I think that's the main thing there. Because the players are always so focused on the puzzles instead of the AI. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like that's the main thing that's wrong about Hello Neighbor. And if you can fix that, Nikita, then maybe Hello Neighbor 3 will be fantastic. But we'll just have to see. Anyway, I hope I didn't sound too mean in this video. I just wanted to record this, react to this video, and give my thoughts on Hello Neighbor 3 being in development. And I truly hope that this game will be great. I hope Nikita can do it. And I hope people will give it a chance. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Maybe I'll do more reaction videos like this if you guys enjoy them. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget to click that bell icon to get notifications for when I upload more. And of course, make sure to subscribe. My name is Clash Shocker, and I'll see you when Hello Neighbor 3 comes out, because that's apparently the only time I make videos.